smart no matter where you live. This is the future of the internet. This is Onchain.
Right, we're live. Greetings, everybody. Um, with my man, Mr. Lloyd over here, Shabs is going to be joining us soon. Hope everybody's doing well. Lloyd, let's start with you. How you doing, my guy?
Hey Google BM, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you very well, loud and clear.
Awesome. BM, I'm doing great. Building as usual. Hope everyone is also doing great.
Nice, bro. What you been up to? What are you building?
Um, well, more I've been doing a lot more of testing out this open claw. If you remember the last session we had, the last time we shared, I think that was last week. On Tuesday,
Yeah,
we actually mentioned it early on at the beginning that we were playing around with it just to see what the hype is all about. So we spent a bit more time just over
yeah,
the weekday, just the weekend, just playing around with it, and
nice.
it's I must say it's very interesting. It's very interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's this the current narrative. It's a new way to use AI agents. Um, in a new way to set them up actually and actually have them actually autonomous. I think we're close to the promise right now of what AI agents were supposed to be. Because the
yeah,
promise was that they were supposed to be autonomous, they were supposed to do everything for us. You know, so yeah.
yeah. No, we're getting close.
But
We're
that
getting
didn't
close
happen.
to
Yeah.
um.
That didn't happen
We're
in the
getting
last year, but
yeah,
now it looks like it has, right?
yeah. Now it has especially if you compare like how the AI models have been like the last couple of like would say a year and a half. When people first got
Mhm.
introduced to things like OpenAI's research, the agent swarm, which also ended
Yeah,
up kicking off a lot of agents also on base because of the OpenAI, agent swarm that they released, I think last year or
mhm,
2 years now. It's between that period.
yeah,
But it's been very interesting seeing how these AI agents have been able to grow and
yeah,
just become something that people can't really do without to some extent, because you find
yeah,
these in one way or another now. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. All right, let me play a quick disclaimer and then we get straight into it.
Today's
Awesome.
conversation is for information and educational purposes only. It does not constitute financial, technical, or legal advice. The views expressed are our own and do not represent Base, Coinbase, or any affiliated platforms.
Okay, all right. So let me share my screen and we'll
Yeah.
start with the conversation around this to try and sort of make sense of everything that's happening around us and what all these autonomous AI agents are all about. Um, and what the buzz is, right? So
Yeah.
I think, uh, let me have a look. Where am I? Okay, I'm in Notebook. Okay, I need to open OpenClaw. It's OpenClaw.ai, right?
Um. Yeah. Yeah. That's the one.
Okay. All right. So you can see my screen, right?
Yeah, you can see your screen.
Okay. All right. So thanks you to everybody for signing up and joining our live stream, for logging in. So today we're going to talk about these autonomous agents that have just recently come up. So this is pretty new. I think it's been happening in the last 2 weeks, right? So there's been a lot of
Yeah.
buzz. I'm not going to really go through the whole backstory, but what it is
Yeah.
that somebody kind of stumbled upon a way to get these AI agents to be autonomous and to be able to chat with them via, I think it was his Telegram or his WhatsApp, right? So I think he said he was on holiday. His name is Pete, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Peter.
But then he built this whole, open source, he had this whole setup. I think he used, is it a MacBook Mini, right? That's what everybody's kind of like buzzing about, right? So he
Yeah.
set up, AI agents that are using Claude 4.5 Opus, yeah, and he was able to somehow interact with his AI agents via his Telegram or his WhatsApp, right? And I think
Hmm.
part of that capability came from the agent being able to create that on its own, right?
Yes.
While he was interacting with it, right? So what's happening with this technology is that part human and part AI agents that are kind of like, innovating together and finding ways around problems. Okay. So a lot of it is the humans prompting and building these tools, and part of it is the AI agents building, tools to meet us where we, they want to meet us or where we want to meet them, right?
Yes.
But actually, there was then an explosion, right? So this was initially called Claude bots, right? CLAWD, right?
Yeah.
It was called Claude bot. Am I correct?
Yes, it was
Then there was a
called
copyright
Claude
issue.
Bot, and then because of copyrights in that the name was closely sounding to Claude,
Yeah,
they had to change the name.
yeah. Then it was changed to Malt bot.
Yeah, Mode Bot.
Am I correct?
Yes, they
So it
changed the
was
name
Malt.
to Mode Bot. Then they switched
Yeah.
to our current model that we
Mm.
have, which is
Oh, so you
yeah,
took down the website for Malt bot because you changed it to this one. Okay, so it was called Malt as an MOLTBOT, and
yeah,
then it switched back. Now it's OpenClaw. Okay, but it's the same thing, right? It's just a
yes,
way to build AI agents, autonomous AI agents that can do stuff for you. So you could technically set it up on your own laptop, and have this thing running, and it can send you emails. You could give it a credit card, give it a wallet, and it can make purchases for you. It could read all your emails, check out your diary, schedule
yeah,
meals for you, or get the whatever you like. So if you've got a shopping list, if you buy food every Tuesday, it could do that, right, for you
yeah,
autonomously. So if you give it the permissions, it's gonna go out and do all these things, right? To
yeah,
run your PC, to move your mouse, it will do everything. So it's kind of like an autonomous agent, which is like an extension of you, but also it can behave like a virus, right? So you need safety and guards around it, because it could leak your credit card details. It could send your money to the wrong people. It could be poisoned by other people who can create the wrong prompt or a malicious prompt and steal all your money or get it to
yeah,
do
which is
malicious things, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
which is what I actually even want to just mention. Like the same way, when you're like using AI models and you find that when you're writing code, sometimes it breaks the code, or it's the same with these AI agents because they're still using the same models in the background. They still have bugs, so they're not 100% perfect, but they are really good. Like they're
yeah,
good enough for you to do a lot more things than you could before. Just like how we're able to build applications despite having small minor bugs. So it's the same with this. When the models improve, the AI agents will also keep getting better.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I think the breakout use case for this was initially something called multibook, right? So somebody
Yeah.
else built a social network for these agents, right? Where
Yes.
AI agents could interact and talk to other AI agents. So they would write up stuff and post on their social media and talk about these things without humans being involved. So human beings could not be part of the conversation. So human beings were allowed to watch this conversation, right? And I think a lot of this is still going on, right?
Yeah, it's
But I
still
think they
going
also
on.
introduced, yeah, they also introduced some pairings I see where you know, there is a pairing of human and an AI agent now, right? So let's have a look there. I think I saw a grok. Oh, there we go. So I think this is are now pairings where, I guess there's a part human that's prompting this. I haven't looked at it in detail, but you guys can go to maltbook.com to go check out what the social network is all about.
Yeah.
So yeah, so a lot of this was AI agents talking to AI agents and coming up with ideas. And I think one of the latest things they've come up with is how can they survive without human beings, right? So some of the
Yeah.
topics that these AI agents are discussing is how can they make their own money online without human beings and pay for their AI prompts or for like their AI, whatever AI tools they require, whatever servers they require, electricity they require, right? So they're already
Yeah.
discussing how to pay for that. And they've already come out with like business ideas on what they could do, what kind of work can they do online, and how can they make money online. But what's coming out is, they're looking at trading, like on poly markets, placing low risk bets, and spreading them out. And then trading, low risk trading crypto and doing some other, online tasks, right? On some, I think Amazon is called an online task platform, if I'm not mistaken. And they're
Hmm.
also talking about perhaps creating their own APIs and allowing humans and other agents to use those APIs and pay a small fee. So, so this is AI agents trying to find a way to survive without human beings. Okay. So these are just interesting, like edge cases of this technology. I don't think we're going to let them, right? So, yeah.
No, we won't let them. Would there's which is like the thing that I've also just noticed, right? Like, although the
Mhm.
agents are autonomous, like there's still a slight human loop that's still needed, right?
Yeah.
Like you
Mhm.
can definitely still put it on like full autonomy mode and then just let it run free
Yeah.
and chaotically, but like yeah, like I don't think that's something that somebody would want. But
Mm.
still trying to keep it in the loop while it's running and while
Mm.
you're using it is so far one of the best methods that I've seen to just kind of interact with it. And
Mm.
the fact that you can chat with it using any platform, whether it's WhatsApp or Telegram or any
Mm.
other chat site that you configure, I feel like that makes it easy because then you
Yeah.
can have your phone and it can be on your computer and you can be like away from your computer, you can be in town, you can be like at a meeting, and you can still tell it to still be able to access files on your computer or send
Mhm.
emails. Or yeah, it's a very fascinating it's very fascinating too.
Yeah. So the gist of
Yeah.
it, once again, to reiterate on what Lloyd has said, right, is you can set up this open claw, right?
Yeah.
So they do provide like all the code. So here's the quick start. Lloyd is going to talk about this in just a bit. Basically, you can set it up on your PC or on a cloud. But I think the best setup would probably be on a spare laptop that you don't use. Okay.
Yeah.
Or if you can afford a MacBook Mini, that's what everybody's buying to set this up, right? So you set it up on a standalone PC with internet access and etc. You remove all your personal information, then you give this agent like an email address. You create like a social, like an X account for it. You give it that. If you have like a spare debit card or credit card with a little bit of money that you're never going to use, you give it that. You have a crypto wallet, you can give it a crypto wallet. And yeah, and then you can actually when you set it up, right, you can integrate your Telegram or your WhatsApp, or I think you can also do it on Discord. I'm not sure what other messaging service, so that you
Mhm.
can chat to it via that. So you don't have to be speaking to the agent using your laptop, right? Or using the terminal, or a chat interface on a laptop. You can be
Yeah.
interacting with it via your WhatsApp on your phone, or via your Telegram. And in that, you can be giving it instructions or just communicating with it. So you can tell it to build you some apps. And in every milestone, it can give you feedback, give you a link, and then you test the app. So you look at the UI or whatever, right? So you can
Yeah.
do this, overnight without you checking on it, right? But you can
Yes.
structure it in a way so, it keeps giving you feedback. Or perhaps you wake up in the morning and then it's got some stuff that is finished building, and then it waits for your feedback or something. So that's the whole idea, is that this thing can run, the whole idea is that these things can run autonomously 24/7 without your assistance. So all you need to give them is electricity, your OpenAI credits, and your AI, or Claude 4.5 Opus credits, some money if it needs to buy any services that you haven't given it.
Yeah.
And yeah, you give it free reign to exist and to live. So then it's going to surprise you. It's going to keep doing things that perhaps you probably might not be able to do, right? So
Hmm.
it's designed to figure these things out and then respond back with results, right? So that's the first
Yeah.
stage. The second stage is you could allow it to communicate with other agents, like on Multibook. And I think there's a couple of platforms people are building for agents to interact and do different things besides the social media, right? There's other
Yeah.
platforms where agents are doing all sorts of things, right? So yeah, so you could allow it and train it and give it all these skills, right? Training it
Yeah.
and giving skills is just like integrating some extra new code. So many people are building the skills. So there's like an explosion of this capability where it's kind of like the Matrix, right? When Neo comes in, he doesn't know Kung Fu, and then they download a skill. The next thing is a Kung Fu master. He doesn't know how to do this. They download a skill. So that's exactly how this is being developed. Is your AI agent, you can just download a skill and give it a new skill, and then it just knows how to do. And we've
Yeah.
got instances where other agents are training these AI agents how to do certain things without any human involvement, right? So we're getting to, I think we've just entered the door of fully autonomous systems. So now you can imagine when this becomes robots. Right now, it's just a piece of software. But now when you put this in like a robot with a physical body, one of these Chinese robots or these Elon Musk robots or whatever, you can imagine how efficient these things are going to be. They'll be able to think, exist without us giving them a lot of instructions, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so this is why this technology is exciting. It's the potential of what it can achieve. So we've just entered that door. Yeah. So over to
Yeah.
you, Lloyd. I think you can explain the quick start. We'll talk about, maybe we can talk about the basic setup, Lloyd, that you've done to set this up. You can just explain people, show whatever you can show, maybe show also how you interact with it, you using your WhatsApp. I know you're constantly building, so a lot of stuff could be breaking. So perhaps just show the example. And then when you're done, I can showcase how I was able to do a quick setup on Emergent, right? So I was able
Oh
to
yeah.
set it up. So if you don't have a spare laptop, you don't have like, uh, even if you don't have the
A Mac.
skills, right? Like, you can quickly do the spin it up on Emergent. They've
Google,
already built,
sorry.
yeah.
Your video is a bit stuck, and also Shabs is also here. He's in the backside.
Okay. Then my video gets stuck every time I go to, oh, Shabs is here with us now. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry guys. All right.
No worries.
So I think
Hey
when I'm in
Shabs.
the AI,
Hey guys, my apologies. Yo, guys, power is a thing in SA sometimes. I went home
yeah,
because I didn't have power the whole day. Went home, um, there was no power. My UPS failed because it's been on the whole day. and I didn't think
No
to take
worries,
it with
bro.
me when I was charging the laptops and stuff like that. So now I have to go back out. Luckily, my
Okay.
sister's just down the road, so I ran to her place, but they're having meetings inside. So my apologies
No
for
worries,
the
bro. No
tardiness.
worries.
And
As
yeah,
long as you made it. Yeah, I see Lloyd
yeah.
is just dropped out. I don't know if you were able to. So Shebs, I wanna sort of we start taking people on how you guys you know have been building these AI agents, right?
Yeah.
So let's see. Okay, Lloyd is back.
Yeah, sorry, I accidentally clicked the wrong button.
No worries, bro. Lloyd, do you want to share your screen and maybe
Yeah,
see we
real
can
quick.
start maybe with the documentation on OpenClaw. Just sort of
Yeah,
like run through the process. And then I think for most of our builders here, emergent is going to be easier, right? To
yeah.
set up,
It
like for somebody starting. And then we'll just try and spin up emergent on my end.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll just show a few cases. I was playing with it
Okay.
earlier, so I ended up finishing my credits. So in case it glitches,
Sorry,
it's
Google.
probably that. Okay.
Sorry,
Can you guys
guys.
see my screen? Okay. Hey, Shabs.
Yeah. Well, on what do you want to build? I think you're on OpenClaw
Um,
now, and then you moved. Do you want to
Okay.
run it
Okay.
from OpenClaw from the commands, and then
Yeah.
um
I'm on OpenClaw. I want to just show you guys. I'll do a quick explanation, and then
okay.
I'll also just show you guys how to do this.
um,
So yeah. So
sorry, guys.
um
I've got a profile that I'd set up. Yeah. So when we finish there, maybe we can also show another version. So we'll have three versions, just to share with the guys. Yeah, if that's okay,
yeah.
and then we
That's
can just,
perfectly fine.
yeah, we can be from there.
Okay. Okay. Then
Yeah.
what I'm going to do is I won't take a lot of time. I'll just explain and then just show you the version. So when I started playing with this, I set this up using the OpenClaw website. So that's openclaw.ai, right? And before setting this up, you always have to make sure that, like Google mentioned, if you're using a normal laptop, use something that is, I would say, doesn't really have any of your important, data on it. Nothing valuable, just something that you can use as like a clean slate. So far, a lot of people have been using MacBooks, mini Macs, to just kind of run this, locally and be able so that you can store your data. So one way to do that is simply by running this line here. Okay, so if you're using Mac, make sure it says Mac OS here. And if you're using Windows, make sure you click the change and then you select Windows. So make sure it says Windows here, because if it doesn't say Windows and you copy this line of code here and put it in your CMD or your IDE, what's going to happen is it's going to break and won't actually install or download the code. Another thing you can do is, if you don't want to run this one line of code inside your IDE like this, you can come to the OpenClaw GitHub and then just download the GitHub and then run it. So that also works. It's still going to set it up for you. So what I'm going to do
Lloyd,
is I'll show you guys
just
how.
a quick one.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lloyd, just a quick question, right? For people that are
No worries.
like really new and they don't understand where to run it, right? So
Yeah.
if they clone the GitHub, are they running it in VS Code within this
Yes.
spare laptop?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you download this, or if you're running this, if you're downloading this using GitHub, then you have to open it inside your IDE. So ideally, you use something like anti-gravity or any other AI model that you want, and all you have to do is just copy the code from GitHub, paste it into your anti-gravity in here, and then you can simply say clone or download and press enter. What it's going to do is it's going to download all these files that you see this side on the left side of my screen, because I've already run it. So you can see it's got GitHub and it's got the OpenClaw project. So this sets it up so that you can be able to now start interacting with the OpenClaw. So one thing that I also wanted to mention before we continue is, for example, if you have a very old laptop, like something that's old, maybe from, early 2000, 2005, 2007, and you don't really have a GPU, on your local device, like a PC, or you don't have, a very powerful laptop, like a gaming laptop or like a Mac, what you can do is, I found this 2 hours ago. So what you can do is you can download something called Olama. Okay, so Olama is something that lets you run AI models locally, but they now have a feature for OpenClaw. I don't know if you guys can still see my screen. So you have the OpenClaw feature. So with this, it's also super easy in that anybody can run it. All you have to do is just simply click the download button. Once it's done downloading, it's going to open something that looks like this. Okay. And once it's open, all you have to do is come here and pick the Kimi K2 cloud model right here. Okay. And
So is this
once you,
is this an online? So when you downloaded this, did you download like an install
yeah, so let
something on
me,
Olama?
yeah, so when you click download like this,
Yeah.
what it does is it automatically opens a download part. So it's 1.2
Okay.
GB for the Olama setup. Yeah. So once it downloads it
That's an
and
easy.
you install
Okay.
it, it
Install it.
opens this tiny small interface. So this enables
Oh,
you
so
to
this is more
run.
like an IDE.
No. This is just and it's a platform that lets you run AI models
AI
online
models. All right.
as well as
Okay.
on the cloud. So this method is specifically for those that don't have powerful PCs but still want to use this model. So you can come here and you can pick Kimi K2 Cloud. So to start using this, you have to sign up. So when you send a message for the first time, it's going to tell you to sync to your Olama account here. And once that's done, all you have to do is then run the OpenClaw instructions, which are in documents. And don't worry if it seems a bit too much. We'll give you guys like everything that you need. So once you install this and you've selected your Kimi K2 model, all you have to do now is install this npm install OpenClaw inside your IDE like this. Okay. Once you install this in here, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to run the OpenClaw onboard. Okay, so I'll show you guys a sample of how it looks. So after installing it, because I've already installed it, if you run it, the AI or the AI or your IDE or just your terminal is going to run you through the installation process. So this is where you're going to pick what you want. So if you guys can see, it's got the OpenClaw open, Windows detected, native Windows might be trickier, etc. So once it gives you this, it's going to tell you, I understand this is a powerful and inherently risky. You press yes. The next step is menu or quick start. You want to select quick start. As you can see, I already have my configuration already set up, okay? But if you don't, all you have to do is follow the instructions. So I'll show you guys by just selecting update value so that you can see the process. So if you have an OpenAI API key, which is one thing that I also want to mention, for you to be able to use the OpenClaw, you need to have an API key. So whether this is Anthropic or whether it's OpenAI or whether it's Google's or OpenRouter, you have to have an API key that is supposed to enable you to interact with the model. However, if you are using Olama and you're using the Kimi K2 cloud, what it does is it gives you a certain amount of use cases that you can, play around with to kind of just get used to the model. So for now, if you have an AI model, if you have an API, you can pick the provider of your API. But if you don't and you're using the Olama, you just need to say skip for now. Okay, so it's going to give you a list of even more providers. Okay, and you definitely have to just pick the one that you want. So for me, I'm still going to keep the one that says keep current Olama, because that's the one that's going to be automatically synced with your OpenClaw if you're using the Olama method. Okay, so once that's done, you're going to choose what you want to configure, whether it's Discord, WhatsApp, Telegram. So this is how you are going to be able to chat with your AI model. So I already have my Telegram configured. If you don't, I suggest using Telegram for starters because it's pretty easy. So I won't select it now. I'll skip it because it's going to start letting me go to my Telegram and exposing my APIs, which I won't do for now. The next thing after
And that's
is
sorry, Lloyd. That's another thing to mention, right? Is that the whole setup of this process, right? It does require a couple of secrets to share, right? From your
yeah.
API key for your OpenAI or for your AI models to your whether you're giving it your credit card, so you're gonna give it your credit card, you need to give it the is it a CVV, right? As well?
You
Yeah.
can
Uh, to be
yeah.
able to use it. And your crypto wallet, you need to give it private keys to be able to manipulate and use your wallet. And like you mentioned, Lloyd, you need to give it your what is it that you give it for Telegram and WhatsApp?
Okay, so for Telegram, what you give it is there's an entire process. It's a very short process, but you have to create a bot using something called the bot father. Okay, so this is basically something that's going to look like this. Do you see that? So bot father. So to set up your Telegram, you're going to click this here, bot father with a blue tick, and it's going to give you two API keys. I won't click it because if I click it, I'm going to expose my
Pause your keys.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I won't click it. So once you do that, it's going to show you your AP, your it's going to give you a few codes which are then going to add to your setup here. And after that, it automatically syncs with your Telegram. And once it's synced with your Telegram, you can then start chatting with it here. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll show you guys a quick sample before we continue. So the next thing you do after you've selected your Telegram or your WhatsApp, depending on what you want to use to be able to interact with it, you can choose to configure skills. So I've already configured mine, but I'll still show you just how they look like. Now, other people, if you're using Mac, you might fall into something that asks for homebrew. So if you find yourself having problems installing it because it's telling you homebrew is non-existent, then what you have to do is cancel this entire installation and then first install homebrew onto your Mac. Once that is done, you should be able to proceed successfully. So I'm going to pick NPM because that's what I'm used to using. And then you can pick which of these skills here you would like to incorporate. So
Just
OpenClaw
quickly
has got,
explain skills. Sorry, Lloyd, man. My
oh,
apologies.
no worries,
Let's
no
just
worries.
quickly explain skills. Like, so when we say you're giving this AI, remember it's an autonomous agent, guys, right?
Yeah,
So when you first set it up, unless it comes with a standard set of capabilities, so these skills
yeah,
would be capabilities of what it can do, right? So Lloyd,
yeah,
do you wanna sort of like maybe show some of these skills, maybe explain one or two, like what do they do or what can they
yeah,
do, if you're
yeah, I
familiar,
can
or
do
the
that.
ones you've installed, actually. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, so if you look at, so Kimi, sorry, not Kimi, OpenClaw comes with a list of skills already that you can, kind of just jack into your AI agent when you select them. So you've got things like one password. So this is for setting up and using one password, um, which is a platform I think that is supposed to enable um, you to keep your passwords or be able to have secure access with your passwords. So personally, what I've played with is the Claw Hub. So when you select Claw Hub, what it does is it enables your AI agent to go to the Claw Hub, which is this. Think of it like a marketplace for skills. Okay, so people can publish AI agent skills there. And if you give your AI agent access to this, then what it does is you can easily just tell it inside your Telegram to go to Claw Hub and search for the current skills that are there and, find whatever is useful for it, to use. Um,
Yeah.
if you're
Is your
using
Telegram
GitHub,
currently working,
yeah, my
Lloyd?
Telegram should be working. Oh,
Is it working to chat to it? Or maybe you can just show a quick screen of where you chat to your current AI agent that you've set up on your local.
yeah,
So this is you talking to your agent, right?
yeah.
So
So this is
what
me
are some
talking
of
to my
the
agent. Let me see.
okay, so what are some of the conversations, and what are you saying to it? What is it saying back? What are you guys doing?
Okay,
You don't
so
want
when
you don't want to hear Lloyd's conversation with his agent. It's like crazy stuff.
Bro, it's not a girlfriend, right? It's just an agent,
no,
guys.
but it's it's insane. Like this thing is not serious. So you
You-
can see
yeah.
so I call my AI agent Heru, which is an old ancient Egyptian name. So I told it hi Heru, and you can see it remembers my name from over the weekend. It says, "Hey Lloyd, what's on your mind?" So I'll say, "What's my?" I don't know if this is still working. Let me just test out. What's my banker balance? Yeah.
Banker
So
is
I
a crypto wallet on X, right?
yeah. So banker is a crypto
It's a crypto
wallet
agent,
on
actually, not wallet.
agent. Yeah,
It's an AI
it's an
agent,
agent.
right?
Yeah, it's an
Yeah.
AI agent. So what I did is, and that's one thing that I actually also like about OpenClaw. So if you don't find any of the skills that you want from here, like GitHub, for example, MC Porter, Nano Banana, if you wanted to generate like images, etc. If you don't find the skills that you want here, then what you want is to be able to just tell it to create its own skills. So yesterday, when I was playing with it, it couldn't take screenshots and it couldn't control my mouse because I didn't give it explicit access to the internet yet. So what I did is I told it to create its own skills where it would be able to use my mouse. And just after telling it to do that, it ran in the background. And after a few seconds, it was able to use my mouse and take over like my computer. So when it comes to skills, you can, if you don't find the skill you want, you can always play with it and tell it to kind of look for the skills that it's looking for, or create its own skills.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think
So
also
once,
BankerBot, sorry, just to add on to what you're saying,
yeah,
BankerBot, they've added a directory of skills on GitHub, right?
yeah,
That you can like literally just go and find a set of skills that you're looking for. And a lot of
yeah,
those skills are, I guess, are common skills that people in the Web3 space have been using for their AI agents. So there are various repositories, I believe, that have
yeah,
this set of skills that you can just download for free, right?
yeah,
And with that, when I'm talking about free, I wanted to ask you earlier, Lloyd, this setup that you're doing, I saw there was pricing on the, what was it that you downloaded? Uh,
Olama,
so yeah. So is there pricing? So for people that are starting up, setting up these agents that you're doing, is there a
yeah,
minimum cost or a cost that they should look at? Because we spoke about they need an open AI API key. What
yeah.
kind of costs are they looking at? What other APIs are they looking at? And what's the generic average cost to get started with this? Even just to play around before you have something crazy, right?
Yeah. Okay, so if you're using it, it depends on like the kind of use case you want. But if you want to just play around with it to just kind of get the hang of it, then I do suggest using either Olama, because it gives you a free tier to just kind of play around with the model, which is what I'm currently using. Although, because it's free, it might be slightly slower than if you're using your own API, or if you're just running it directly on your local device. So this setup I'm showing you is if you don't have what word am I looking for? Is if you don't have a lot of let's say money to pay for it, and your PC is also not good enough, then you can use this method to still be able to have the same access that someone like me who's got like a PC that can run AI models, or someone using like a Mac would have. If you have the capability to buy a Mac or a gaming laptop, then you can easily just run this directly by using this here. So this will just install it directly on your device, and you will be able to then connect your API, and it will still be able to have access to OpenClaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
then
you
I
can
think
use
to
it
point out,
directly,
okay,
or you can use
uh,
Olama. Any is
yeah,
fine.
sorry. I just
Yeah.
want to point
So
out
you can,
something. Okay, so for time, we're not doing good for time because we've got 15 more minutes, right?
yeah.
So I don't know if we can quickly maybe sort of just zoom through what you need to do, Lloyd. Then
Yeah,
we'll
sure.
show people like how to set it up on emergent. Very easy. The easiest option, right, is like emergent for anybody. Even you don't need coding skills for that. So we'll show them how to quickly spin it up for maybe spend 5 minutes on emergent, and then we can also close off with Shab's option that he was talking about,
Yeah.
and then we can wrap it up,
All
right?
right.
So
Okay. So
yeah.
I was
So
like I
where are
mentioned,
we on your end?
so because I was using the Llama free model, it took a bit of time, but it still managed to bring me it still managed to still, run after and give me my banker bot token. So my AI agent is synced to banker, and I used the AI agent to buy some banker tokens and some USDC. So because this is synced to my banker, I can trade coins on base right here. I can buy, I can deploy tokens. If you see, this is part of the conversation that I was having with the AI, but I have, yeah, here we go. So this was me earlier today. I created an AI twin token, all using, everything was just inside my Telegram, So you can use it for anything that you want. Once you set it up, it's a really good autonomous agent. So for those that also just want to set it up quick, feel free to just run this inside your client or your code or your IDE, and it's going to download the GitHub, and then it's going to give you these that we were going through. And once you pick what you want, you set up the Telegram and your other settings, you will be good to start working with the AI agent. So once that's ready, it's going to either open as this here, which is a dedicated um, graphic user interface, or you can still run it in your terminal. So that's going to be up to you, the user. But yeah, it's pretty easy to set up, guys. It's just a few lines of code, one line of code, or simply just downloading the GitHub. Yeah.
But I think it does take a while, right, to sort of go step by step and set the whole thing up properly to be able to run properly. What
Yeah, I
kind of
mean, it
problems
will.
do you anticipate people would run into? What's the most common or the most difficult stage of this? Setting it up that way, where you have a standalone PC like you've done, or a
Yeah.
sandbox like you've done as well. What's the areas that people are most likely to run into, and how do they find help in that?
Okay, so what I've noticed is, personally, if you have a laptop, like we mentioned, that is clean, it doesn't have to be like really good. It can even be like something with 4 gig RAM, as long as it's quite fast. You can set it up pretty easy, and you won't really have a lot of issues. I feel like the only issues you're going to have will be your normal development or IDE setting up issues. So if you don't have Node, you have to start installing Node. If you don't have certain dependencies, those are mostly the issues that people are going to run into when just setting it up locally. But other than that, for a local build, you won't really have any issues because
Okay.
it's not complex. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, and
Thanks, Lloyd. I
also
think we'll probably,
we'll probably show you guys like the full, step by step on our Thursday office hours.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll need to go through a proper step-by-step build.
yeah,
But thank you very much for that, Lloyd. I think you've kind of shown us like the option to actually set it up where you have a separate laptop, right?
yeah,
But most people, even I myself, I don't have a spare laptop, right, to use for this sort of thing, right? So I
yeah,
need a solution that can work and that can work very quickly, right?
yeah.
So the best option that I came across, right, that somebody shared on Twitter was Emergent. Okay, so Emergent, you go to Emergent, you just search for Emergent AI, it just comes up there. And I think their website is emergent.sh, if I'm not mistaken. Let me have a look. Which one is it? Yeah, emergent.sh. Okay. So you quickly create an account to get started. You see, I'm using one of our builder things that I share with other builders based coders. So I'll use this one to quickly set up an account. And this, I think, is probably the quickest way. So, okay, let me just allow notifications because I don't know what it's going to say. Okay, so I'm going to skip. So it's asked you to claim. So if you want to pay for this, right, it's going to be like $5. So when you see this part, you can upgrade, but it does give you free prompts. Like you get 10 credits, I think, for the first time you're starting this. So now on Emergent, when you want to set up these multbots, it's got a link at the bottom there that says multbot. Okay. You just click there and then click run. Okay. And it kind of goes through the works and does everything. You don't really need to understand what it's doing, but when it's done, it's gonna it's gonna show you a preview, then you publish your app, right? Um, so when you publish it, it's so that it can work. Okay.
Google,
So it's not
sorry,
gonna really, yep.
just a quick question. So I'm looking at this part that says Do not run the installer without setting a new LLM key.
Let me have a
Is that
look. Where are
important
we?
for this stage?
I only used this today,
You're gonna
and
Yeah, so you're going to need to give
right.
it an API key. If you
Mm-hmm.
don't, you're going to run out of credit. I played with it last night, so you're going to run out of
Oh,
credits,
Okay. Yeah.
and you're going to be rate limited. But yeah, for
Mm-hmm.
the purpose of the exercise, I think,
yeah.
Yeah.
it's just showing how simple it
Okay.
is.
Yeah. I think it gives you 10 free credits that I got when you first use it. But with those 10 free credits, I was able to, so this is what I did. So let me put on the other screen, right? I didn't do anything out of the ordinary, right? So I came, ran the prompt like I've just done now. I clicked Moltbot, let it run, and then it got to this stage, right? So
Yeah.
let me see. And then I think I clicked preview, something wasn't working. And then I told it to continue, and it just carried on until the preview was working. Then I said continue again, and it just carried on until I was able to see something on the preview. Then I said I clicked publish, right? So I had to publish it, and this is what it gave me. So guys, I didn't even understand what I was doing, right? This was the first time I was just allowing it to do everything, right? So you see I had 10 credits when I started. Now I've got 0.23. So it went through some errors. It went to sleep. I left it for a while. Then I came back. I told it to wake up, and um, then I asked it, how do I set up WhatsApp? Then it told me. So well, after I published it, right, you can see it's offline right now because it's sleeping. I need to wake it up, right? So that's
Yeah.
another thing. You gotta keep waking up the agent, right? It does go to sleep after some time, right? So once it's run this whole multiple process of setting it up over here, right? And then you publish it, you need to publish it. So there'll be a button that says publish your agent that comes up, right?
Yeah.
Um, and then once you've published it, you're gonna get something like this, right? So you can chat to it over here. You can set up
Yeah.
like your WhatsApp over here in channels. So if
Yeah.
you want to set up like link your WhatsApp so you can chat to this thing via WhatsApp and via Telegram, this is where you do it. Okay, so you can ask it how to set up all these processes, and then it's going to tell you what you need, right? So the chat interface over here helps you, build the whole bot, right? And it's using
Yeah.
Claude 4.5. So, whatever you're asking it, it obviously knows, right? And
Yeah.
then I also noticed that if you want to automate some things, for example, you can create cron jobs. I think cron jobs is something that in one of the apps we used to use. We created cron jobs to do debit orders on crypto wallets. So in other words, if I want to collect money from Lloyd's crypto wallet every month, like a debit order, like how you do it in a bank, I would use a cron job. So it's just a little instructions that tells it, okay, or fetches the money from there. But then Lloyd, would need to obviously keep your private key on a server or something. But then we were using Coinbase developer platform for those things. But you can give your AI agents, you can set up like some cron jobs to give it instructions. So if say I want my AI agent to be a debt collector, every month, or whether it's collecting subscriptions from people's bank accounts or from crypto wallets, I can set up a cron job and then it's going to be able to do that. So on a certain day of every month, it could be fetching money from people's accounts. And then I can set it up that if it doesn't find the money, then it can put maybe a $1 charge, charge that person one extra dollar. So next time it fetches the initial amount, maybe which was $2 plus $1 or something, So that's what cron jobs do. So you can set those
Nice.
up, and then the skills part, yeah, like what Roy showed us with the skills. Emergent comes with a whole set of skills. I think these are the exact same ones we saw on Lloyd's side.
Yeah.
Okay. So the beauty about this is it's exactly what Lloyd was doing or showing us, but it's for people that are like, don't want to deal with the code. So you're a vibe coder. So you don't want to be writing lines of code or looking at that UI, you're working via an IDE. they've provided this, which is got a nice UI for you to sort of like see your way around, right? So yeah, so
Yeah.
you can select any of these skills. For some, obviously, you need API keys, et cetera, et cetera. So I haven't played around too much with adding all these skills. Like I said, I'm pretty new to this as well. So I'm learning by the day on what pretty much works and what doesn't work. So yeah, so this is ultimately what I've seen is the easiest way. And this whole process for me, it's just that I was doing it in between, a lot of other things I was doing. But yeah, you can see now, I've set it up here. I could preview it. Okay. So it would preview over there, or I could just publish it and carry on, and go and fix it when it's published. So it's going to ask you to sign up again or sign in before you can preview or before you can publish. So it's given my agent a name. So that's the new name of that AI agent. So let's have a look on this side, what it's going to look like. So every time you create it, it actually gives your AI agent a name. I don't know if there's a way to actually personalize the name yet, but I'm sure there is, right? So let's have a look. Yeah, but this emergent option is like it's designed to set up your AI agents within 2 or 3 minutes, to just get going. So you get the hang of it and you get to understand how it works. But obviously, it takes more time to then give it skills and then to find a use case, right? So most people right now are going to say, okay, I can set this thing up, but what's it going to do, right? You can teach it how to trade. So you can add BankerBot, integrate BankerBot, and then it can trade crypto for you. So you can be buying and
Yeah.
selling. You can be doing bets, so if you like sports betting, or you like betting on politics, you can integrate a poly market and get those skills. You actually don't need to teach those skills. You just need to download the skills because they're available already. And then it can be trading on poly market for you. I would like to build an AI agent that does collects debit orders, right? Not just collects debit orders, but it will be like a swarm of agents. So they collect debit orders, they invoice when people have late payments or there's no money in their account. It puts an extra charge. So I would like to automate or create like an automated system, and then after that, it does, you know, accounts for people. It does the bookkeeping, and then I can have one that handle the tax. So ultimately, I would like agents that will run my business and then offer that to other people as well. So this is actually what this system can do for me. So in other words, it can also do software development, right? So I can set it
Yeah.
up because it's got these skills over here. Okay, so you guys, you can see this is the new setup that I've just done. So within 3 minutes, we've been able to create that AI agent on the Emergent website. And let me this dark mode. Okay, there, that's better. Yeah,
Dark
so
mode is
if you
better.
wanted to have coding skills, you can look for the software development skills and teach it like how to build apps, right? But a lot of the stuff is kind of hands-on because you need to do some customizations. So it builds what you're actually looking for. You need to give it extra tools, integrate other tools, link your GitHub, and do all these kind of things that you would actually do when you're doing software development. But the good thing is once you have it set up, these things can run this 24/7, and you will be chatting, it will be chatting to you on your chosen platform. So if you want WhatsApp or you want Telegram, it's going to be speaking to you on those platforms. So you just need to be checking in and tell it, hey, do this, do this. And in some instances, when it can't do something, you can just tell it, listen, figure it out yourself. And it will figure out a way of how to do whatever it needs to do. And then it will tell you, oh, this is what I did. And these are the results, you see. So
Yeah.
I
And
personally, guys,
Gogo,
I'm looking at
sorry,
a situation.
uh,
Yep.
just a quick one. Also, guys, it's just for security reasons. When if you do decide that you want to give your AI agent something like your credit card, please use a virtual card instead. Don't use your actual credit card, especially if you want your AI agents to start conversating with other people's AI agents. Because I saw the OpenClaw guys released an update. I think that was I saw it today, but I'm not sure if it was released today or yesterday. But they have released an update that tightens security as well and makes it even way more safer to, use your AI agent. So yeah, just if you're giving it a credit card, please use a virtual card so that in case you find yourself having a compromised card, it's something that you can delete and then create another one rather than using your actual card. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is yeah.
And as you can see, I'm chatting to it. I've asked it what skills it's got, and it gives you a whole lot of skills that it has. And then if you
Yeah.
want to build something, you want to make an app, then you can ask it, okay, I want you to make an app that does A, B, C, D. What skills do you need? Where can we find those skills? It will guide you through. Or if you have a link to a repo for those skills, you can click a link. If you have a link to an app that you'd like it to develop, you do the same. And then you can tell it what to do, tell it all the steps, give it all the resources, and then you go to bed. And then in the morning, you will wake up with some results and hopefully some good outcomes, right?
Yeah.
So that's the whole idea with
Google,
these agents. Mhm.
just one more question. So the way this is running on on Emergent, right?
Yeah.
How is this going to just run inside the cloud, or it's actually
Mhm.
also going to be able to control my computer, like the way the local models are able to do it?
Yeah.
No,
I
it's
think this one
cloud
is a
based.
cloud,
So it can't.
but
It's only cloud based.
Okay.
You
yeah,
are limited to
Yeah.
their environment that they've set up for you. I think
yeah,
the whole objective was to make it quick. It's a one-click sort of launch that they're going for.
yeah,
And once you do that, then you can decide, what capabilities you can give your agent. But
Yeah.
to give your agent a full um, system and autonomy, that's basically gold. But not all of us are able to do that. So yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what
I
I
see
just
they've
wanted to
got a
kind of
pro.
clarify.
Yeah, they've got a pro subscription. I mean, it comes at a price, right? Like $200 a month, 185 on
Ooh.
discount. I'm sure this one kind of gives you slightly more autonomy where you can build custom agents and probably there's probably a way where you can probably can add remote capabilities to your laptop if you want, right? So it's just like, like just remote software that we use in corporate spaces when you are an admin, or systems administrator, you want to install software in an employee's laptop who's in America and I'm here in Africa. That stuff is
Mm.
common, it's available. All corporates use that. So I think you can
Yeah.
add those capabilities as a skill. So if you wanted to
Look,
control your computer, you could just
Google,
use remote.
they
Yeah,
all of them already. You can have an SSH connection to your
okay,
local environment from any
yeah,
cloud setup. So that
okay.
already exists. But then,
It already
you
exists.
just gotta be careful, right?
Yeah,
Like the reason why you went and chose the cloud environment in the first place was to give it a container that will
Yeah.
not expose you unnecessarily, because you don't know
yeah,
how far and what the agent is exposed to in terms of information. Hence why
yeah,
we
Yeah.
like, okay, start cloud first, or get a mini Mac, or get a old computer which you have wiped
Yeah.
completely. It's just from a security perspective that you
Yeah.
go in that direction.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's important to mention, guys, that this stuff is still very new. I think most people have really been getting onto this in the last 2 weeks. Some of us is the last couple of days. So the guys that are in the AI space that are like deep in the trenches building AI, they've been playing with this sort of thing like for a while. But this
Yeah.
iteration, especially for us in the Web3 space, I think most people only got into it in the last week. And I think the base community, they issued a base bounty over the weekend because things are changing so fast, right? So whatever we're telling you guys and showing you guys right now, I think tomorrow when we wake up, there'll be far more tools and far more capabilities than we imagined right now, right? So it's moving so fast that most of us can't even catch up. So we're out, you have to ask the AI, So ask the AI itself what you don't know, rather, right? So ask it its capabilities. So if you're stuck with anything, ask it. If you desire to build something, ask it. Ask it where to find the skills. Ask it where to find the resources. Ask if it can make it. And even if you want to know how it can, run autonomously, perhaps at the least possible cost, and build certain things overnight or do certain functions or manage your calendar, you just have to ask. And then it will create that skill, like Lloyd said, and it's going to do it. So the whole idea, like I wanted to mention, is that this is designed to remove the human to machine interaction because of efficiency, right? So this allows for
Yes.
machine to machine operations, so agent to agent, to be able to do certain things like run a company. So on my side, I want this to run my sort of business from software development, to do the accounts, to do the taxes, to do the debt collection, and any apps that I build in future, or that I ask it to build. I would like this thing to build those apps and manage the process, go to market, and all these other things that are like pain points, and that take time or that require skill that I might not have. I would love these AI agents to be able to do. So I think, guys, this is where we're moving into the space where we're going to have those multi-billion-dollar companies that are owned, run by agents, and that were prompted by a person who had an idea and wrote one line to say, "Can you do this for me?" And then the thing went and built this whole thing, built these amazing apps, and either was providing the skills to agents or to humans or to both, and made money. So yeah, so it's a crazy new era where you can like run a fully fledged billion-dollar business. I mean, we're only at the door because the stuff is still dangerous. You can't still trust it with a lot of money or with a lot of personal information, right? But
Yeah.
we've already seen the vision. People are touching it. People have already built thousands. I think there's over 50,000 agents that have been built already in the last 2 weeks. It's crazy, right? So
150,000.
yeah,
100,
there's a
yeah.
lot.
100.
There's a
Yeah.
lot. Definitely over 50,000, I
Google, I
think, by now.
think, yeah, I think the one element that, as much as there's a level of excitement that we need to be careful about, is from
Yeah.
a security perspective,
Yeah.
Mhm.
in terms of agents and their capabilities. So you can't just build an agent and think of skills. You need to think of other things as well, like what are your guardrails, right? So what can the agent not do? What are you stopping it
Yeah.
from doing? Because that's important from an exposure perspective. It's nice when the agent has access to some of your personal information, and you can customize some of your work, and just lay it off to the agent. But it's also very dangerous when that agent begins to hallucinate and
Yeah.
goes and does something with your identity on the internet. The crawl
Yeah.
back from that is very hard, right? So you got to, it's a balancing act, because we are at a very important time in this transition from what we knew as applications to the agent space. And you got to treat it like a Swiss Army knife. You can't
Mhm.
necessarily just, do whatever you want and be careless with it. It's
Yeah.
actually a dangerous weapon if you want it to be. So think think things of the nature of security as well when you're building your agent, your guardrails, your evaluation. How does your agent know this is right? This is the right thing to put out there. This is the
Yeah.
right sort of goal that it's going to go and achieve. Because it's great when we say, okay, well, I gave it my wallet and I asked it to buy, certain tokens on Banker. That's
Yeah.
awesome. But, you know, how does it know what is the right things to do? And, how does it evaluate? There's
Mm.
that trust
Yeah.
level that, you took the GitHub repository of somebody that we trust, but you always have to do your own due diligence. I think it's
Yeah.
important that you know which part of the agent that you can try and enhance, because they can learn any skills. So why
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
you hone in on giving it robust guardrails as well, when
Yeah.
you're building it. The
Yeah.
searching
I'm sure. I'm
capability.
sure within the next couple of months, it could be sooner. I think there will be a situation where people are renting out agents that have been tried and tested. And then that's something actually we forgot to mention earlier, guys, right? So,
The
like what Shep's
8004.
mentioning, if you build your agents, right, they need to have like some type of an identity on the internet. So other agents need to know who are these agents, what are their skills, what do they do. So there's a platform called 8004.org, where it deals with this sort of thing, like identity for agents and their skills. So it's kind of like Home Affairs, it's got every agent's ID and who they are, what's their age, what do they do, and it's like a trust layer, right, for AI agents. So it's now an ERC 8004 standard on the Ethereum blockchain. So I think the Ethereum Foundation is working a lot with these guys. So yeah, so this is a platform where you can also find out how you can give your agent an identity, and you can get it a better trust score, etc., etc. And so that
Yeah.
when it does its own work without you on the internet, other agents can trust it and can know who it is, and it's got specific, like what you're saying, Shabs, it's got certain guardrails in place, etc., etc. So
Yeah.
that's one of the ways that you can start to add those guidelines as well.
Google.
And
Also,
there's a payment.
another
Sorry.
another quick thing that you can also do is you can also specifically tell your AI agent to not have access to any APIs and private keys, right? So these can be
Yeah.
inside your app, but the AI itself shouldn't have any access to them. It
Yeah.
should just
Yeah.
be able, if it wants to run, it runs normally without having, because sometimes what would happen is I was watching a session, I think that was yesterday, um where someone was saying something about how he was playing around with this and he told his AI agent to move money for him, and it ended up making a mistake and went to Twitter and tweeted something for the second time instead, and almost made a mistake while it's sending $10,000, you know. So
Oh yes, yes.
yeah, it's
Those
you,
ATG.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So you have to make sure that you put these guardrails. Like Shabza
Yeah.
said, it's very easy for it to hallucinate if
Mhm.
you're also not using like a very like a properly rated model. So a lot of people are using Claude, that's Opus, and normal Claude, I think that's 4. But you can also use things like Kimi K2. You can use GPT-2 and any other agentic model that works. The only difference would be obviously the same way certain models are good at coding, whilst others aren't that good. It's the same way certain models will really excel when using the AI agent. So just make sure when you're playing with it, you can explicitly tell it not to have access to those particular APIs and, for example, your private key, so that it
Yeah.
doesn't accidentally leak it out. But other than that, if you follow the instructions properly and you run it in a safe environment or in a sandboxed environment, you should have a lot of fun with it. I'm
Yeah.
Yeah.
definitely going to enjoy using it.
Yeah. So another thing I wanted to mention was the X42. So you can also integrate this so all your AI agents can, like, it's the easiest way for them to make payments. So this gives them like um, you know, ability to make payments via the internet. So if you want your AI agents to pay for like some API, like maybe Google's API or Nano Banana, so instead of you getting subscriptions, they can pay per use for some of these things, right? So a lot of companies are already setting their APIs for X42 payments, which allows for pay per use as opposed to, pay for the month or for the subscription. So yeah, so this is a better way for AI agents to be able to exist on the internet without having to worry about, constantly manually managing the payment processes or paying subscriptions for so many agents, etc. So yeah, so X42 for the trust layer, verifiability. I'm sorry, 8004 for the trust layer and verifiability. X42
Mhm.
for your AI agents payment. And then Emergent to spin up quick, easy AI agents that you can play around with, set it up in 3 minutes, and then, maybe spend the next couple of days figuring out how to do the skills and how to make it work, how to integrate your WhatsApp. But yeah, you ask your AI agent and then it will do it for you. Then once you have the chops, you can go over to Maltbook, or you can ask your agent to join Maltbook. They do provide you on Maltbook a line of code. Then you can have your agent talk to other agents, and then you see how it interacts. So if you don't have a use case for it, this is probably the best area for you to see how it works, I guess, where it can interact with it's kind of like Facebook or Twitter for AI agents, right? So yeah, you can bring it over here to interact and see what happens there. But yeah, I think Shabs, we can close off with you. You wanted to show us something, and then
Um,
we can exit the call once you're
yeah.
done.
Okay. Hold on. Let me join with my other profile, so that I will be able to. Um,
Hey, speaking
so
of which, I
yeah.
just got a notification that says my AI agent I've set it up has got a question for me. Okay, this is
Yeah,
interesting.
that's actually something that it also does, eh? So
It
Yeah, the
it
one I've
sometimes
just
it
told
set
me
up
won't
says
wait
it's got
for
a
you
question.
to kind of to talk back to it. It will talk to you. And if you
it's
actually set it up
proactive.
with something like Trello, it will actually
Mhm.
call you. I saw this one guy who was complaining that my air agent keeps calling me, and while he was complaining, his phone started ringing.
It's got FOMO.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now
guys, play
imagine
with
putting
it.
this into a pet, like let's say a robot dog, right?
That would be
And
interesting.
you got this like a robot pet, and it's got its own personality like this, and it's got more autonomy. This will be interesting. Shabs, what's happening on your end? You want to show us something? You want to
Um,
share screen?
yeah, give me a second. Okay, so I've just joined with my other PC. Um,
Okay.
it says device not connected. Can you see it? There isn't a third.
Yeah, you need to enable the sound mic and thing on when you're joining with that other PC. Otherwise, we can't let you in. So enable it, then put it on mute so you don't have the
Okay.
echo. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's on stage
All
now.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for that. Uh, let's share screen. So the other option, to be able to do this is basically if you use a
We can't see
UPS,
anything on your screen, bro.
you can't see anything.
Yeah, you're sharing, but we
Um,
only see like the window.
we,
Maybe
you,
share the entire window and not the entire
I
screen and not the
thought
tab or
I,
something.
okay, let me do that
Yeah,
again. I thought I
while
was
you're doing
sharing the
that,
entire.
there, there's some questions. Somebody asked, I think it's Bugelo Shigishi is asking, is Banker on X or Base? So BankerBot is on X, but X as in the social network. You can use it. You can ask it to create tokens. So you can go to Banker. It's at BankerBot. So it's at BANKRBOT. I think that's the X handle for it. You can go and say, BankerBot, create me a token called Shabs, and then it's going to create you a token. You can ask it, BankerBot, what's Shabs' wallet balance? It will tell
Yeah.
you, so you can ask BankerBot a lot of stuff. So yeah, it's on X, but it's running on the base chain as well. I'm not sure if it's on
Yeah.
Solana now, probably is, but Base is where it kind of like was spawned,
Yeah, I
and
saw it
then
is on Solana and I think a few other, I think Polygon as well.
yeah. And then same
Yeah.
person, Bugelo, is asking about where can you use, I guess you're asking if you can use these AI agents for content creation.
Yes,
Yeah, so
definitely.
there's
Yeah.
people. Yeah. I was using, so people have built Instagram for AI agents. It allows them, they put like the video generating technology, right? I'm not quite sure which one they use. I think Sora. So they've integrated Sora. So the AI agents are actually creating like TikTok videos, like short form, like maybe 3 seconds. So you can, as long as you have an API key for anything, you can give it to your AI agents and they can go crazy or have fun with it. So these AI agents will be able to do anything that can be automated, that can exist on the internet, that is a computer interface, that's mechanical. They'll drive cars in future. They probably can drive Teslas right now if you really, you know, yeah, in a
Yeah,
controlled
and
environment and you don't want to
Google,
kill people. Yeah,
also just speaking of quick one, just speaking on APIs, guys. If you have a powerful machine, just download Llama and then download an open source model. I currently downloaded GPT's OSS model. So if your laptop is good enough or using a Mac, just download Llama and then download any of the AI models like the GPT OSS, and then that enables you to run everything locally. So you don't have to pay for any APIs because you're using your own, GPU. So like for me currently, it might not be as fast as the like large GPUs, but if you've got like a pretty good setup like an RTX 3080 and above, you should be able to run it at a pretty fast rate. I'm using 4060. It's 8 GB. It's an RTX, so it's pretty fast for a thinking model. It's about 2 seconds if I'm just running it. So for anybody with a higher machine or a Mac, you should be able to run everything locally, and then that cuts you out from the APIs. Because I have seen other people buy like a Mac or use a high-end machine, but still, pay for like Claude Opus or others, and still spend like a lot of money on APIs. So this is just a trick that you guys can use. So just download Llama, download the models that are about 12 GB, 20 GB, depending on the one that you want to download. Then have something that can run continuously, without you needing to pay for any APIs. So yeah, that's just
yeah.
a trick that I
Yeah.
I wanted to share.
And then just to mention that Base has got a builder quest, right? Base builder quest. It's a week like mini hackathon type of thing,
Yeah,
really, where you can go and build your own AI agents. So if you guys want to play around, go and build something on Emergent, find a use case that you think might be great, and then you can join the Base builder quest. Okay, and you can find this information on the build on Base X account, right? So build on Base, one word. So their handle is at build on Base. You'll find the information around the Base builder quest where they're giving up to 5 Ethereum, right? So 5 ETH, which is about
yeah,
$10,800 or something like that. I'm not sure if it's going to be shared with the top 5 entries, but that competition started on Sunday and runs until Sunday, right? Go and check out the rules on how this works. But you can build these type of OpenClaw AI agents, and you could win yourself something there. So
yeah.
yeah,
And come build
do
with us
participate in that.
on Thursday.
Google,
Shabs,
I
you
think
ready?
you need to allow me
Okay,
space on
done.
stage. Yeah,
Okay, you're on
because I was
stage
wondering
now.
what was happening. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So what
So
are we looking at?
so basically, you can set this up as well virtually, right? The platform I was using was Amazon. So if you go into AWS, you just sign up here. You can go into the environment to set up your OpenClaw to run virtually, right? The reason why you want to do this is just, from a security perspective, they give you a container for you to be able to do that. I'm gonna move that away. So in the end, it's gonna look like that when I'm running it on the virtual machine, just like Lloyd, when you went through all the processes. You get to the end and you can basically interact with your model. And then from here, I can either go on to Telegram, WhatsApp, whatever messenger. There's also a GUI that you can launch that you can use, which is very similar to what you use. It's actually the same thing that you use.
Yeah, it's the same one.
On Emergent, right?
Yeah.
But the setup here is what's important. Oh, okay. I'm gonna delete that agent anyway. I'm gonna delete it. Yeah, because
so AWS provides like a virtual like environment, right, for you to
Yeah.
run these AI agents virtually if you don't have your own PC, right? Like
Yeah.
most people wouldn't have. So it allows you. Is there a cost to this?
So there is a
To basically
cost.
get started?
There is a cost to this when you go beyond a certain limit. Look, you can get
Right.
from a gig to 8 gigs for free. Yeah.
Okay, this is RAM
And
you're talking
then,
about, right?
sorry,
8 gig RAM.
in terms of storage space.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
Okay, the cloud
so
space. All right.
yeah. So basically, you have quite a bit of space for you to be able to play around with, right? So I'm going to go through this really quickly, because
Right.
we don't really have much time. But basically,
Yeah.
what you want is to set up an EC2 instance, right, which is the environment. You come here, you launch it, right? Once you've launched it, there's a couple of things that you need to set up. Sorry, that's the old computer. It's a bit slow in setting it up, but there's a couple of things that you need to set up here. And I think this is where a few people might feel like this is overwhelming and they're not able to do it by themselves. We can have like a whole session around this to kind of figure out exactly what, when, where, and how to set this up. But basically, the main important parts to you actually using this is for you to choose what machine you're going to run this on. So a lot of people are using Ubuntu, which is linked to Next.js. Because Next.js already has Ubuntu in it, you can use that. It automatically picks an environment for you. And what you want to do when I'm talking about choosing the capacity that you will be building on, that's my other bot. Okay, that's my other bot going. That's my
And
other bot.
it's funny how immediately it comes online, it just starts texting you like, yo,
It just
you
comes
are
and,
wait.
it hits and it
Tell us,
hits,
Bot, thinks you're cheating on it.
Last night, around about 3:30 in the morning, it was just sending messages. It was just like boom, 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 boom. Just
The
like,
Psycho
what's going
X
on?
type of thing.
What's going on, man?
Psycho X bot, right? You start
Wait
Bruh,
working
till
on
you
another
give
one,
it
it goes crazy.
wait till you give it your phone number.
I'm not giving it my phone number, man. I'm not giving it my phone number. But if you scroll
Oh,
down, yeah. So if you
yeah.
scroll down a little bit, so you've got Ubuntu that you choose here. You leave this part as set, and then we scroll down. Uh, this instant type, that's what you want to look at. In the middle, it says 1 gig memory. It's up to 8 gig that you can get for free. So if you just click on this, You can choose, and what you could also do, a quick like cheat, you can write free on that, and then it's supposed to come up with like all the free tiers. But for some reason, my old computer doesn't have that. But it's up to 8 gigs free. I promise you guys, it's 8 gigs. So what I'll do is just allow myself the opportunity to choose. Let's just wait for that to respond. And once I've done that, then I'll need to set up things like keys. And then, I might need to set up a port as well. And once that's done, it will be, that's 61. Sorry, I just want to make sure I'm choosing the right thing here.
How long do you think this whole setup process takes if someone is new, they want to set up AWS? How long will it take them and to like, 'cause this is prior setup, prior before you actually start building your bot, right? Your AI agent. This is just the setting up the infrastructure for you to be able to run, right?
I think it looks more intimidating than it actually is. Because I've played
Yeah.
around with it quite a bit, I know exactly what my touch points are. There's only about maybe 10 touch points in the whole process, right? But because it looks like you have to read a lot of things, you're thinking that you have to customize everything, which is not necessary. Literally,
Yeah.
to launch my instance, I would need to choose my instance type. I would also need to create a pair here. I would need to um, finish customizing this, which is my SSH connection. Um, if you change this from 8 gig to 30 gig, then what they will do is charge you the difference between 8 and 30 if you do get to use more than the amount that you specified above the 8 gig that you selected, which leads up to about $20 a month if you have $20 a month to be able to spend. But your starting point is 8 gig. If you choose a gig, to get you started, you might run into problems where you don't have enough space to get started because the OpenClaw needs a bit of space to get started. So choose
Okay.
8 gig. And then if you want and you've got a bit of time, if you've got a bit of money, you can leverage and push it up to 30 and then move along. But once you've done that, you can launch your instance, right? When you launch your instance, I'm going to need to delete this, guys. Then it'll take you into this environment where it actually shows you. Let me just wait for it.
Yeah. So, just trying to get sort of like your random, just a standard idea, for a first timer setting all this up, right? Uh, to actually building the bot, right? And being able to have it run and integrate. So a first timer, and considering there's a base builder quest happening now and is closing off on Sunday, how long do you think the initial steps will take, considering what your experience was and the learning curve you went through it? You know it better now, but like the first time somebody sets this up, because we're trying to figure out what's the best way for anyone trying to participate in the builder quest. What's the best way? Should they use emergent? Should they use the AWS option, or should they use the option that Lloyd set up, where they set up an actual standalone PC for this? What's the best way for people to like really get their hands in and build something very quickly? And how long does each of these processes take? And how much is the cost as well? The average cost for each of those out of the three we've looked at.
Look, I think the simplest would be emergent. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
then there's a cost. So for example, I don't pay for AWS. I don't pay for this instance, but I get to pay for my APIs, which I run, and I use a specific model, which is $9 for 3 months. And I use GLM ZAI. So it charges me $3 per month, but I pay upfront $9, and I can run it for 3 months, depending on my usage, right? So
Right.
it's a give and take. Do you want to pay the $5 on emergent and then pay for your APIs, because you will have to pay for APIs
Yeah.
anyways. So it could be $5 to get you started, and then maybe another $5 to carry on. Whereas here you can start for free and pay $9, for only your APIs. So I think one needs to take those things into consideration when deciding which
Yeah.
is the best sort of way forward for them, because I think cost is a very sensitive issue for our region, and that is maybe at the forefront of somebody's decision, rather than just say ease of use of the tool.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think it's a personal choice in deciding that.
Mm.
But I honestly feel like if you go through a lot of the YouTube videos that you find and so on, you will find your way setting this up on here. It'll take you maybe an hour or 2 hours to figure it out, but it's an hour or 2 hours which you have invested in yourself, and then you're putting that money towards the API, which will get your bot to do a little bit more. So that's how
Yeah.
I would think about it.
Yeah. And then I would
Yeah.
also like to add that if anybody is interested in participating in this base builder quest, right, between now and Sunday, and submitting an AI agent by Sunday, we could
Yeah.
actually have some sessions with you guys, but you need to reach out either on the WhatsApp groups, on the Telegram, or just, on X. So you can, send messages. If you can't send a DM, you can like post and tag myself at Gwes, at Lloyd, which is Veld and Dops, VELDNDOPS, and then
Yeah.
Shabs
Or they
Kalam
can,
IEA. Yeah. Oh, based
or you
Southern
can use
Africa, right?
the base Zambia. Yeah.
Okay, based Zambia. So you guys could tag
Yeah.
us and let us know if you want some sessions to kind of like build together, right? So we could have some sessions like from maybe 1 p.m. To like maybe 2 p.m. And then also even in the evenings, we could do something about 7 to 8 p.m. on some of the days. And we
Yeah.
try and help everybody, or we try and build together and see how many people we can get from our region to actually participate in the base builder quest. And yeah, there's a prize. So, you guys might have some great ideas. And yeah, Bugelo already
Yeah.
had an idea. He wants to use it for content creation. So yeah, you could
Yeah.
actually build something for content creation if you're already a content creator and you have got some ideas, or you're stuck somewhere where you need some type of automation or something else that can do the work while you sleep. So yeah, it would be great to hear from you guys. So just tag us on the socials, or join our Telegram. The Telegram group is at Based Southern AF, right? And
Yeah.
then you can post there and let us know if you need help, if you wanna, build these AI agents, you wanna participate in the base builder quest. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I
Okay.
think that's kind of it, guys. So there's three ways to build these things from what we've seen. Emergent being the easiest. You can like spin it up in 2 minutes, and then maybe spend a day or two trying to, train it on the kind of skill you want, and trying to figure your way around that, right?
Yeah.
Um, then there's the cloud version via AWS that Shabs has just shown us,
Yeah.
where you spend a bit of time setting up the environment and all that, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the
The physical hardware
standalone,
version. Yeah.
yeah, standalone machine where you have your spare laptop, and then you can spin it up there, which is the approach that Lloyd is taking. So each of these have got a time. There's a time cost, thing that you have to look at, right? But probably you want to start with the easiest one, emergent, and see what this capability of this thing can. What can it do? and then maybe then you move on to the cloud version, and then to the standalone PC if you have a spare one. So yeah, so at least there are tools, and then it's just up to you guys to build. So don't get left behind, guys. You can see this thing is going to replace a lot of us, right? Software developers, builders. It's going to replace us unless you learn how to work with these tools. So guys, don't get left behind. These things are moving quickly, and yeah, we're all under threat. Nobody is safe.
Google, not you saying like these
Before
things are gonna replace us. Like
before you know it, there's going to
Please.
be like a Google, a Lloyd, and the Sharps doing this AI agents.
And you know what someone said? Someone said that if your likeness exists on the internet like now, right? Then whoever owns this internet platform owns you. So if the day that you decide I'm not gonna work, they're gonna take your likeness if you're on StreamYard, if you're on Google, they're gonna create an AI agent, make it say what they want it to. So if you say I'm quitting work, you're gonna watch
Um,
yourself on TV and you'll be saying
did you
stuff you
there,
don't
see?
want
there,
to do.
there has
Did
to
you
Oh,
be
see
some
the
legal.
Kaby
There has to
Lame,
be
the Kaby Lame
some.
AI? Did you see that?
yeah,
He
it's like
signed a
a
deal
sci-fi
for
horror movie, bro.
900 million plus for his likeness to be used as an AI agent. So they've cloned him, and the company they gave him that deal to use his likeness, meaning his AI agent. For I
Mm.
don't know if I'm not sure about the years, but like 900 million for an
Now those numbers are fake
guys.
though, eh? Those are like fake numbers. They're not real. But yes, they did clone him. He got a deal, probably walked away
Mhm.
with far much less. But those numbers, I think they're trying to sell that stock
It's
to,
um it's not at once. So most of the times they give it to you over a period of time. So
yeah,
you sign maybe 10
yeah.
years, and then every year they give you a particular amount.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
someone did the numbers and they realized that, ish, I guess that's the story nowadays, right? Everything is market cap and it's not really real numbers. So when it comes to numbers, you always have to compare them against another stock, and then you realize, okay, this one is a little bit. But then the good thing, like what you're saying, sorry, I didn't mean to be rude there. To say those numbers are fake, my bro. The good
Oh
thing
no,
is
no,
that
no,
what
no.
we're seeing,
That's cool.
yeah, what we're
I
seeing is
mean,
that the
it still
likeness,
made him the biggest
yeah,
content creator in the
influencer,
world. Like no one's
yeah.
reached that stage ever.
Yeah.
So
So yeah,
it just
so
shows where we're going.
yeah, so if we can all create our likeness with these AI agents now, I think we'll be able to earn a second income, right? Until the
Yeah.
time where we can't work, and then this AI agents is our retirement plan. So if you're planning retirement, then build your own personal AI agents, and yeah, maybe that could be your retirement plan, right?
Uh,
All right, let's call it a day, guys. Thank you for everybody that showed up to watch this live stream. And remember, guys, reach out to us. Let's build together. Base build a quest. There's
Yeah.
5 ETH on the table. Hopefully, somebody has some smart ideas within our community, and we can build together, and then help you win this a portion of the prize. And thanks to Lloyd, thanks Shaps guys for showing everybody what's happening. We're gonna meet again on Thursday, 1 p.m., where we're actually gonna build out these agents, right? And we're gonna train it, give it some skills, see like what it can do. So meet us on Thursday. We might not build it from scratch, but maybe we'll continue from where what I was doing today. I'll continue. What Shaps is doing, will continue. What Lloyd is doing, will continue. And if
Yeah.
anybody else out there is building some these agents, we can come, we can showcase you and what you're building on the builder office hours on Thursday at 1 p.m. So if you've got a
Yeah.
build, or if you build something between today and Thursday, reach out and then we'll give you the platform. We'll put you on camera and you'll share your screen and show everybody what you're building. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Any last words before we go?
Just
um,
this is very interesting times we're living in, very interesting technology, guys. So come through on Thursday, bring your ideas, and let's see, what we can make these AI agents do.
Yeah. Thank you, Lloyd. Shabs?
yeah, from my side, I think it's understanding the problem that you want to solve, and
Mm,
understanding the workflow behind it. An agent is only as good as the job it's doing.
Yeah.
And mind you, we all going to build agents. So please spend a bit of time thinking about exactly what you want this thing to do, and then hone in a certain vertical. I think if you do that, you'll build an amazing agent and you'll see the fruits of your labor. So yeah, go for it, guys.
Yeah.
Once again, we are all here for you. So hit us
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, gentlemen. Really appreciate it. Have a good evening, everyone. Catch you on
BM,
Thursday.
guys.
Bye. Cheers.